Hi guys, this is Sean, and today I thought we would take a tour of the grow room here today. The end of January, and it's filling up. I mean, I have all of my seeds started, and now they're just growing out in different speeds. So I thought it would be fun to show this to you. We will spend a lot of time in the grow room until it's time to plant outside.
Now, if you remember correctly, a couple of videos ago, we came in here and we did a lot of cleaning, and it might not seem like it to you, but we cleaned up a lot of room, and we'll be able to take a lot of these seedlings quite a ways out. So, up at the very top, we have the aloe vera that will go out into the chicken yard this spring. It's just chilling in here in the wintertime, and it'll be I want it really healthy because when it does get planted out there, uh, the hens will be after green stuff, so I want it healthy. And then we're going to put it around our fruit trees and kind of section it off so they will be able to get to the outer leaves, but they won't be able to get to the heart of the plant and kill the plant. At least that is my intent for it. And then we've got onions and asparagus. Now, I have never done asparagus before. I'm a very finicky asparagus eater. I like very thin, very tender, and I won't eat them big old logs of asparagus that they try to serve you at the restaurants. So this is my first attempt at starting asparagus from seed. I know I won't be able to eat anything this first year, but I just I had the seeds, so I'm going to go at it this way. Then I've got green onions, just the regular spring um, sweet onion, and then I have what they call bunching onions, and I'm really hoping that they act like walking onions. At least that you basically what you get's the green part and not so much the bulb part at the end. So that's what I'm going for with the onions here. And then as we come back down here, this is a tray of different tomatoes. I've got everything from beefsteak. I got most of the beefsteak, which are right here. Most of them transplanted. And then we've got um, different variety here. Let's take a look. Oh, these are the Romas. And then this in the center are the spring, the sweet 16, just the tiny tomatoes. And then more Romas on the other side. We do a lot of tomatoes. My husband loves all things tomatoes. We've done a lot of salsa. I like to make stewed tomatoes because I feel like I can do so much with stewed tomatoes. I've never tried to do spaghetti or ketchup, and I'm really hoping that I have enough tomatoes this year to do that. And then we've got some peppers. These are the later planting of peppers. We have everything from bell to jalapeno. This is actually right here is the eggplant. This I've got the purple and then the white eggplant. So that is eggplant. And then when we talk about peppers, these are my first planting of peppers. I'll be transplanting these this next week because they're getting pretty big for the cells that they're in. And again, most of them are bell. I do have some cayenne because I like to make a grind to kill fire ants. Believe it or not, maybe that's how they get so hot. I don't know. But we use a lot of peppers. And last year, I couldn't grow a pepper to save my life. So I know having the two trays of peppers, these and these, might be a little bit of an overkill, but for having none. Last year I was looking for a lot of peppers. And then, let me open this up. These are seedlings. Like I said, we've got every step here. I'm trying so hard to make lavender grow. It just doesn't seem to like me. But at least I got, if you go in really tight there, at least I got some green, and I transplanted them. And I'm hoping that I'll have some lavender. Echinacea. Echinacea hates me. I just, try so hard and I don't see one green thing coming up. And then right beside it, so here's echinacea. And then right beside it is leeks. And I haven't got a leek to come up. It's like it happens every year. There's something or some, system that just doesn't seem to care for me. And then I just can't grow it. Now at the very bottom, it's dark as you can see, and my heat mats are down there, and that's where I sprout my seeds. I do a lot of sprouting. I like to know if the seed's going to be viable before I push it in the dirt. And so I do a lot of seed starting, and that's why it's dark. Everything's started. I'm not starting anything else. I don't have the room for that to happen. So this is the next shelf, and as you can tell, I've got, these are the tomatoes that I have transplanted, and these are basically beefsteak tomatoes. And they are all transplanted, and they'll grow out here until, I know I'm probably going to have to transplant them at least one more time before I can get them outside in the spring. But I have to start them early because, yes, I do live in the warm climate, and that's the problem. We live in the warm climate, so I've got to hit the ground running and have everything planted, have it producing, and have it, I have to have the fruit back in the house by the first part of June, because I'm going to lose most everything from the heat. At least that the last 2 years we've just really been battling this. So things are moving along quickly, but I need that quickness to get product in. And speaking of quick, here are my cold climate veggies, my cabbage, my broccoli, let's see, I got cabbage. I know I have broccoli, cauliflower. So those are, things that I hope happen this spring. And if it doesn't happen this spring, then I'll have to wait till next fall. Now, brassicas, another thing that I really struggle with growing here, and it's just because of the climate. The cooler weather on each side of summer happens so quickly that I really struggle to get in any type of veggie off of that. Over here is some herbs. I've got some holy basil right here in front, and holy basil. I got some flowers. So these are, this like the third step almost, if you will, because first step is sprouting. The second step is growing it out in the little seed pods. A lot of these, if you'll look, they're not even individually planted. I just fill up, when you get little veggies and they're in clamshells and they have the openings in the bottom for watering. So I'll just fill them full of dirt and then put the seedlings that have sprouted in here. And then by the time they're at this stage, that's when they need to be transplanted into something a little bit bigger. And right now with the space that I have, that's just how I have to do it. Now Ron still has to come in this weekend and put in some lights over on this shelving unit, and then I have this one as well. And this is I'm just kind of moving things around, but I'm going to have to get everything off of this shelving rack so that I can start putting. It's going to be tomatoes and peppers that take it up, but that's okay. I like tomatoes and peppers, so that's great. So another thing I really wanted to share is, have I just shown you that um, if you look at what I plant in, it's not glamorous. These are old things. These are the peat moss little starter packs, and I'll reuse them until they're pretty much, falling apart, which is normally at the end of a growing season. But um, I know I've been doing this long enough that I can safely tell you, guarantee you,
that your seeds are not going to be impressed with what you put them in. As long as you got some dirt that they can sprout up, God's put everything in that seed that it needs to sprout and to form. Now, they don't care if they're formed in leftover plastic shell packets or in very expensive planters. I use a lot of things over and over and over through the years, like these little styrofoam cups. Let's see. As you can see, I scrape off or rub off the name and type this year's plant in there. My seed doesn't care. It's not impressed. What I spend my money on is the seeds itself. And I think I've already shared this with you at another video. I'll link it up in the show notes. Is you don't have to spend a lot of money on seeds. Right now I am using MI Gardener seeds. They're $2 a pack, and they have enough seeds for me to have at least one full growing season. And for some of you, like, I'm from Michigan, so we only had one season for the garden, but down here in Texas, we have 2 seasons. Like I was talking about, I start seeds January 1st because I have to have them in the ground in April, and I've got to push them along and have them grow, produce their product, and for me to be able to grab that product and bring it in the house. And then I am starting seeds in July for the winter garden. So I'm spending money on seeds and not so worried about the packaging that the seed's going to go into. Now, something that you do have to do a little bit of work with is the soil that the seeds go in. But I have a problem of not being able to think ahead, and so I just buy the soil and not the seed starting soil, because I need the mix that I'm going to be using to go to go in my beds, to start seeds, So I'm not going to just buy the seed starting soil itself, but the regular garden soil. And then I had trouble with it because there's a lot of bark and a lot of things that would impede a seed from flourishing. So I was talking to Ron about that.
So this is our setup. I've got this plastic container here, as you can see, and we put my soil in it, and the thing on the top is a basic sifter, a basic soil sifter. We actually just did a video about it because I've been asking Ron to make me one, and this is what he came up with. I love it. I just pour my soil in here, shake it out. It comes down in the container, which is a perfect fit for the grow room. It's not too big, and I can, like right now, this next week, I'll be doing a lot of transplanting. So I'll have plenty of soil because I'm going to have him empty one in here for me. And then I'll have all the soil. And then I wanted to show you this. This is all the stuff that it caught with me doing just a half of a bag. And this is all bark and things like that, which is great. I'll put it into our raised beds outside. So it won't go to waste, but it's not what I need for starting my seeds.
I hope you guys enjoyed the walk around the grow room, and I just want to encourage you to grab anything you might have. Go to the trash and look and see what would hold dirt. Puncture a couple of holes into it so the water will seep out of it. Put some dirt into it, put a seed in it, and you will be rewarded in a couple of days with that seed coming up. And it's not going to complain to you what you planted it in. It'll just be nice to have the vegetable plant that you can go outside and put into the soil outside when it gets nice. So here is to your homesteading dreams, you guys. Have a great day.